Welcome back, Forester Dragons. I hope you're doing well. We're going to be learning about something called balance and printmaking. Printmaking is whenever you make a print or a copy of an original. So just like when you make something on the computer and you want it to come out, you do what? You print it. And it's a copy of what you made inside the computer. It's a print. So you're going to be making a print, a copy of your hand. Now maybe your mom doesn't want you to get too dirty or too messy, so you can put on a glove, or if you just can't do that, you can always just trace your hand with a marker and color it in. The objective is to learn how to print. Now normally in class, I would give you some tools like styrofoam and have you draw a picture and we would print it using starch. But because of the pandemic and because some of my kids are learning at home, I had to modify my lesson. So now balance is a principle of art. Remember, our principles are like how we put the pieces of our art together. It's like a puzzle piece to make it look amazing. So balance is when it has equal weight on both sides. So even though it may not be the same object, you want it to feel like this side weighs the same as this side, okay? So my hands are equal size. Now I have these eyes coming off up here, but over here I added these like green grassy hairy things growing on it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna be creating balance, which is our principle of art. Let me show you our principles of design. So there you go, you've got balance right here. Okay, so making it look like equal weight is on both sides. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started today. We're just gonna focus on creating our hand aliens. So we're gonna take two papers and we are going to glue them together. Get this out of the way. Okay. I'm going to put glue along the vertical edge, so up and down. Okay. And then I'm going to take the other paper and put it on. Okay, now if you have paint and can paint your hand, then great. But if you don't, if you just have markers, then you can use washable markers. I'm going to pick, I think, maybe I'll do purple and maybe purple and orange. Okay, so I got purple and orange. These are washable markers. But I also have my watercolors here if I need them. I'm going to go ahead and open them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start. And I'm going to show you an easy way to do this. So I'm going to start coloring my hand, just like this. You can see it. Don't be afraid of a little messy. Messy's fun and creative. So I'm going to be making a copy of my hand, right? So I want to get the marker all over. So I'm doing my best to color everywhere. Now remember, if you don't have this, you can just trace your hand and color it in. If you don't have it, if you don't have markers, or if your mama doesn't want you to get too dirty. Okay, so you can see I colored my hand. Now that's not enough. It's not wet enough to have any impact on the paper. So I'm going to take water on a brush and I'm going to wet it on my hand. You'll see it start to get real wet. I'm going to wet my fingers and my whole hand just with the water. Okay. Once I've got it all really nice and wet, like watercolor, I'm going to turn it over and stamp it. I'm rubbing my fingers and pressing really hard so I don't miss any areas. And there's my handprint. Okay? Perfect. And my hand's a little dirty, so I'm going to just wipe it off. Sorry, my wipes are on my Okay, so I'm going to wipe it off. And then I'm going to focus on the other hand. Okay. So I'm going to close. And anywhere there's a gap, I can go ahead. My markers. That one's kind of dry. Let's see if that's better one. Well, I have some other purple up here. Okay. So I'm going to kind of outline it with that purple and fill in the gaps. Okay, so I didn't color it all the way in because when we start to design our alien, we can do that. So next I said orange, right? So I'm going to color the other hand. This is harder because I'm right-handed and I'm having to use my left hand to color, but that's okay. Okay. So same thing, once I get the marker all over my hand, then okay. I'm going to use the water and the brush. And what am I going to do? I'm going to wet them, right? Okay. So I need to get the water on the brush and wet it. And remember, if you have paint, you can just do paint right off. You don't even have to do the marker. I'm just showing you how to do it if you don't have paint. So remember, we're making a print, a copy of our hand. And we're going to be turning it into an alien. So I'm going to lay it flat. I'm going to push down on my hand, making sure I get as much of the print as I can. There we go. Okay. I'm going to turn my hand. Okay. So the next step is we're going to be turning these prints into aliens. I'm going to go ahead and connect the gaps. I want to use a brighter orange. Okay. Okay, so I've got my two hands, right? Okay, now at this point, I want you to look at the two I'd drawn before. So I did fill this one in with lots of blue. I turned this area into a giant eating mouth. So they need legs, they need mouths, and they need eyes. You can have more than one mouth. You can have a lot of legs. You can have wheels, make it robotic. You can have multiple eyes, but you're going to be turning it into some sort of alien. So you can go ahead and get started on it. I'm going to start one with you, but we're not going to go too long today, and we'll complete it next time. But I will start one. You can go ahead and do both if you want. I'm going to pause it and work on one, and then I'll show you. Okay, you can see that I have now turned my two handprints into weird aliens or monsters. So I hope you're having fun, and next week tune in. We're going to create outer space. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye, Forester Dragons.